All right. So, hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome to Raising a Mogul TV. Today is Wednesday, right?
Yes,
Today's
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Listen, my days are all crazy. Today's Wednesday, so we are coming to you live as we normally do. Come to you on a Wednesday,
Hello,
hump day.
Facebook.
Uh-oh, wait.
How
Let's
you
see.
doing?
Okay, I was getting feedback. I got it. See, that's how long it's been. I couldn't remember. I'm messing it up. So yeah, we haven't been here in a minute, but we've been traveling. We have been working. We are building. We have all this craziness going on. So we just wanted to jump on and say, hey, we are your Mogul Moms. I am Tamara Zantel. I am the mommy manager of Miss Zandra. She is a teen CEO that started her line, her skincare line, that is, when she was 9 years old. She's 17 now, and she is moving really, really close to taking over the world.
And I'm Tashanta Hogan. I'm the proud mommy of Cheyenne Hogan of Shy's World, 5 free indie nail polish brand that she makes and creates.
Hi, and I am the mogul mom of Kristen the Truth Jones and Bailey Love Jones. Both of my children are best-selling authors, international speakers, and Kristen also has an online academy where he teaches people how to invest in the stock market and trade options.
Y'all hear that? Did you hear that? Like, we're gonna have to do, okay, we always talk about this. So we always start the show off and we always introduce ourselves, but we're really gonna, we probably should do a show, especially with you, Janelle, where you actually tell us, like, what does that mean? And how does he actually do that from Germany? If you all don't know, if you haven't been following us, welcome, and why not? And I'm so glad we're connected now. And so Janelle's in Germany, and he does what he does from Germany. And he's how old, Janelle?
He's 11.
11.
And Miss Bailey is 7.
Yes, 11 and 7, 7 and 11. So there you have it. So yeah, so all of our kids, our young moguls, our children, and like I said, they're inching really close to like world domination. Like that's the plan, especially 2018, the year of manifestation, the year of make it happen no matter whatness, right? So Tashanta, let's get into it. We're talking about thought process and action, scaling up, no excuses, making it happen. You are the mom, you are the dad, and we're here to manage our young moguls, and we're just doing it. So let's talk about it. What have you been doing? I know you've been busy.
So, yes, Cheyenne, she had me take a class that she wanted to make press-on nails, because press-on nails is very huge in her industry. She makes her own nail polish. So wouldn't it be great to also have the press-on nails using her own nail polish? I was like, okay, great. So I had to take a class. It was about 2 hours while she was in school. So I took the class with her, and I trained her literally last night after school, after she did her homework. But also we went to the trade show. It's a nail show here in Los Angeles. I'm in Los Angeles, by the way, way across the other side from Tamara, and way, way, way across the other side from Janelle. So we're all parts of the world, okay? So you guys can put your hands on us anywhere you're at, East, West Coast, and international. But we went to the trade show, which was amazing. And she got so inspired by seeing all these other people. And while we were there, we were talking to different people. They were very inspired by her. My nail tech has actually literally showed her the way and has been helping her a lot, who has been doing nails for 33 years. So I am so grateful. So grateful. Yeah. Wow. So that's what we've been up to.
Oh, no big deal. No big deal. Taking classes for your kid and all that. So there was a lot packed in there. But before we move forward, I have a request from all of you amazing people that are watching. Thank you for the thumbs up, Q. That's my little brother. He's watching us. I want to say shout out to Rhonda. Shout out to Ella, Cliff. Hello, Ty, Mike Harris. Everybody that's watching, drop below, please, where you're watching us from so we can shout you out. Also, tell us who your young mogul is. Who is your child? Who are you supporting? Who are you managing? Tell us a little bit about what you do. Drop some links in the comments so we can shout you out. If you're watching, we appreciate you. And please go ahead and share this video Don't be selfish. Share us with your friends, your family, your followers, and let everybody know that we're talking today about scaling up, not only just your thought process, but also with your actions. So Ms. Tashanta's just shared how she said it real fast, because she's like, I had to take a class from my young CEO. What she said was, her daughter wants to enter a new marketplace with her nails. Okay, if you guys don't know, Miss Cheyenne makes the 5 free indie nail polish, like Tashanta said. So, like, okay, she could just be, you know, a teen making her nail polish and selling it, making her money. But as we, as parents, and we have this conversation about thinking up and scaling up and growing up. You know, our kids are growing up, and you know, just getting to where we want them to be and where they want to be. We have to start thinking beyond what they're doing right now. So if Cheyenne's been making nail polish for 3 years, it's like, okay, well, what's the next step? Where are we going to go from here? So her mindset should be, you know, set on, one of the things is like, okay, what's the industry? Where's the industry heading? You know what I mean? So if press-on nails, I had no idea that press-on nails was back a thing again. Like, I remember what was like in my 20s, it was a big deal. Like, I'm telling my age, but I know you can see them in like Walmart, CVS, but I'm like, who still buys those? Apparently in California, it's the thing. And you know, California, I'm in New York, so California usually gets stuff before the rest of us get it. And every time you see Tashanta, her nails are on point, but that's what happens when your daughter makes her own nail polish, right? No excuse. So yeah, so the fact that Cheyenne wanted to add this as another stream of income, another stream in revenue, and to expand her brand, we're talking about expansion, right? The class is a win while she's in school, right?
Right. So, yeah, it was while she was in school, yes. Yeah,
so Tashanta could have been like, oh, well, we'll just wait until when you're out of school. We'll wait until summer. No. Yeah. She was like, I'll take the class and train you so we can still continue to move forward and hit our goals. And if anybody knows anything about Tashanta, you know she's all about hitting her goals. She plays no games with that. So,
I had to make sure I perfected it before I showed her, because she was looking like, because it's so funny. Last night when I trained her, I was trying to do this design, and she was like, Mom, you're doing it wrong. It needs to be turned this way. I said, no, this is how it was supposed to be. And so it came off the nail, or something happened, and she was like, oh my God, you're supposed to be training me. It was so funny. But I was trying to perfect myself before I trained her. But we got it together, as you can see. If you guys are not following us, you'll see the nails already done and so forth. But I had to make sure I knew what I was doing before I trained her. I had to build my confidence.
They look amazing. I love it.
They do. And I think you posted some on Cheyenne's page. So head over to Shy's World after this broadcast and you can check out some of the work. And I know I cannot wait. We are having special custom Shy's World nails made. I won't tell you what they're going to look like, because we're just going to like, boom, we just going to. So as soon as she perfects this thing and this nail art, we're going to get some custom press-ons, because clearly I can't be showing up everywhere like this. So she's going to hook a sister up, and I'm excited about that. But that's pretty dope. I mean, like, I get excited about this stuff because as we all move, we're moving in our own space. But then when you hear about other moms and other dads that are doing, you know, like scaling up with their thought process and their actions as well, and you're like, wow, like, I don't know if I would have done that. I don't know if I would have been like, oh, well, you just have to wait until summer. I don't know what I would have been done. Exactly, Q, right? So I don't know. But that's pretty dope. I'm excited about that. So Tashanta, I want to talk about the trade show, but before we do that, Janelle, can you please tell us where you just came back from? Like, the people need to know.
Okay. Well, me, my son, and my daughter went on an amazing trip. We went on a week trip, and we went during my son is homeschooled, so we went during my daughter's spring break. But we went on a 7-day trip, and we left, and we left here in Germany, went to Venice, Italy, which they have been a couple times now. Then they left Venice in Italy, and we went to Greece, and we had never been to Greece. And that was an amazing, amazing trip, because not only my son is really into the what do you call it, the Greek gods and all that stuff, mythology. Yeah, we were actually also able to go race on the first Olympic track. And so that was big, because, you know, everybody knows I used to be a track star way, way back in the day. I knew I was going to be FloJo. I just knew.
Yeah, it was an amazing trip. We got to see a lot of history. You got to see, all the things that you read in books and, you sing. And so we actually got to go, and it had some neat experiences. We got to do the little kiss and fish spa treatment where you put your feet in the water, and they had fish in the water, and they eat off all the dead skin off your feet. So it was cool.
I want to try that. That's cool. So tell me, Janelle, so when we're talking about thinking up, scaling up, and also with your actions, so you figure a lot of us, our kids were out on spring break. They were on some sort of a vacation, around this time of year. You got a winter break, a spring break, Easter break, whatever it's called in your area. Some of us did really maybe just kind of had some family time. We did movies. We did, okay, what's going to be cuddle week, whatever. We're going to read some good books. We're going to eat some, make, whatever. This family time. And some people are like, oh, we're going to go to the beach. We're going to do whatever. You're like, when me and Tashanta, we're trading notes. And Janelle's like, well, we're going to Greece and here and a cruise and this and that. Like, why? Just why? Like, why? And I know you guys travel a lot. So just how? Like, why? How did this become a part of just what you guys do?
Actually, while we were over here, when I was in the States, my goal was to have my kids hit all 50 states before they reach their senior year. Because most of us have never even hit all 50 states. So it's going to be a journey for me as well. And we love to travel, take pictures, meet new people, new experiences, and it actually broadens you. Because there's so many phenomenal people out here doing phenomenal things that we've never even heard of or dreamt of. And so to, go out and explore the world. I mean, literally, our kids, Generation Z, have to be global entrepreneurs. We can't just stay in our little local market. That's just not going to work. Your income is going to be limited. The people that you are here to reach is going to be limited. And so to open their mind to a global scale at such a young age and actually have them go to the places that they've read in history books and, things that they've read about in science, and actually go touch those things, see those things, talk to the people that's been there that know about those things, that can teach them things that's not in our classrooms, that they're not getting in their school education, is really phenomenal. And not only that, Kristen was able to make new connections, set up another speaking engagement, and also get a new client for his stocks and options class. So we're still in grind mode, even though we're vacationing and relaxing and having fun. We stay in grind mode. So
I love it. That is crazy. I gotta have. You know what? We need to bring Mr. Christian on so we can talk about this whole grind mode, no matter what. Because I've been at an event with him, and I've seen him work a room. I've seen him at 11 years old, be taking notes and pulling out a cell phone and getting contacts when everybody else is still trying to figure out whether or not they feel confident enough. He's already talked to 6 people. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the beauty of kids, because the fear, the fear,
they're fearless.
Is not. They're fearless. That's it. That's it.
Right, fearless.
Let's give a couple shout outs. Hey, Tara Harris, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Hey, ER, how are you? We're here. Let's see. I said hello to Ella. Hi, Loretta. How are you, cousin? Buffalo Fathers has joined us. Hello, Neftali. Hello. Chartrice Coleman says she is in Amherst, New York. That is right around the corner from me. Hey, lady. Okay. And we also have Alan Ruaju. Please give me the phonetic way. Ala Ruaju. She is tuning in from Nigeria. Hello. And if you guys don't know, she has 2 of the most amazing, cutest, most beautiful twins. Yes, and they are superstars in their own right over in Nigeria. And we have just recently gotten connected. She is the mommy manager of Temi and Tammy, the owners of Mimi's. And she's enjoying this conversation. So I'm so excited. I'm sorry I killed your name, but I'm excited that you're here. I'm also excited that this conversation has gone global, y'all. This conversation has gone global. We already we pushed it a little further. We pushed it a little past Germany. So thank you, everyone. Don't forget to share. Okay. So Q says, I love it. It's an amazing journey to he's talking about he wants fish to eat his feet.
He wants the fish to eat his feet.
So, okay, so let me just give you, okay, so everybody, we're talking about where we've been and how, even though while we haven't really been present, we haven't spent that much time. Hey, Sean, we haven't spent that much time with you guys recently, more recently in the last couple of weeks, but we've still been grinding. We've still been making this thing happen. So Xandra and I just came back from Chicago. We had an amazing opportunity to attend the Black Belt Speakers Training with Dr. Ruben West, and it was fantabulous. I'm so excited that we did it. And, I think sometimes we all get presented with these opportunities, and as soon as someone comes over to you, for some of us, I mean, maybe I'm just talking about me, someone comes over to me and said, hey, I'm doing an event in Kentucky, or I'm doing an event over in LA, in a couple of weeks. Maybe you should come. The first thing your brain starts to do is, LA, ain't nobody got time for that. How much is it gonna cost? Who gonna go? Who paying? You gotta, we instantly start thinking of all the details, the logistics, instead of thinking like, wow, let me lean into this opportunity and see what can I get out of this? Like, is this something that could push me to leveling up? Is this an opportunity?
Right.
Is this an opportunity for myself as a mommy manager or a dadager, or an opportunity for my child to reconnect with some other amazing people, other amazing children, or display their talents, their skill set, their gifts, or their products and services, So I really want us to start, as parents, to get in that mindset, instead of like instantly thinking how hard things could be, or, go straight to the logistics, like how are we going to make it work? Like, just get all the information so that when you get home and you have to pray on it, or you have to, write about it or think on it, or whatever it is that you do when you're trying to consider a new opportunity, at least you will have all the information. You know what I mean? At least you'll have all the information, and you'll know, like, yes, we can make this work. Then the logistics come. It's like, do we want to do it? Is it worth it? How do we make it worth it? You know what I mean? Is it gonna, pay off in the long run? Then we say yes or no. We make a good, solid decision, and then work out the logistics. So when we were in February, when we were at the Black CEO conference, we were presented with the opportunity to attend the Black Belt Speaker Conference and training. Rather, it wasn't a conference; it was a training. And yes, it was a training. It was like, oh, shoot, like we have all this other stuff to do. Like I did that thing that we do. I was like, and I was getting ready to start making excuses and figure out why it didn't work. And finally I was like, you know what? We're going to make this happen. We're going to make this happen. We made it happen. I have my buddies over here, and I'm like, Tashanta, what do you think? What do you think? You do some research, and then if it makes sense, you go for it. And I'm so glad that we went for it, because I'm better for it. And I absolutely know that my daughter is better for it, because we were able to make connections. We were able to meet some really amazing speakers, collaborations came out of it, invitations, opportunities. We were able to serve and also receive, on a major level. So I'm just super excited that I took the risk, and that I didn't allow all that stuff, all the excuses to set in, because we all have something else we should be or could be doing. You know what I mean? But we need to start thinking up and, and scaling up our thought process of like, should this be something I really invest in? And how can I lose and how can I win? You know what I mean? So we can kind of weigh our options. So let me see who else is joining us. I said hello to Sean. How you doing? Okay, Shantae, how you doing? She says, hello, ladies. We have listen, you guys are coming out today. What time is it? It's 5:15 on the East Coast. This is when the excitement happens on Facebook, apparently. So, Tashanta, Xandra and I did trade shows in January. Tell me, I want to know about this trade show experience and what made you decide to go, because that's a big deal to attend and decide to walk a trade show, when you're, with your 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old, like why?
So we wanted to be in the know in the industry and see what was going on in the nail industry. So my nail tech had told me about it, and we had did some research and said, oh, you know what? We need to go. So we woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning. We got there at 7:30 because they didn't open until 9 o'clock. but we wanted to get the bag that had like a bag full of goodies inside, like nail polish and this and that. And so we got there early. On the ticket, it said if your child is under 13, they cannot attend. So I was like, okay, I'm glad she's 13 so she can go with us. So she came with us. She enjoyed herself. She saw so many things. And she was trying to buy up everything. I was like, listen, we have a budget, but we were able to get some things for her to get started with her press-on nails. So we learned a lot of things. They had classes, they had demos where you can get your nails done right there on the spot. They had all kind of different things, and we were also able to see how they set up. So that was another thing that we really wanted to pay attention to, how people are setting up. The professional people that we have been looking at for a long time, we saw them, we met them, we were able to see their line sheets, their catalogs, everything. So all of that wasn't just us just going and having fun and buying stuff. We was looking at everything behind the scenes on top of that. The service, what they were giving the people when they were coming out, the whole conglomerate of things, because we're looking in the future to be able to set up at a trade show. So it was amazing.
I love that. And I think first of all, there's a lot in what you said, but I love okay, let me go back to this my Wi-Fi is acting crazy. I don't know why. It's something bad's happening, you guys, but I'm gonna fix it. I'm on it. I'm gonna make sure we stay together. This ticket that said she can't come in if she's under 13. Okay, am I frozen still? I think I might be. Let's see. Yes, I'm back.
Okay.
I told you I wasn't gonna leave you long. I just said I don't know what happened.
We're gonna continue on.
Yes, no, I'm back. I hope I didn't look crazy during that frozen. Okay. So listen, the ticket that said she couldn't come in if she was under 13. If she wasn't, she'd be at least 13.
Right.
So let's talk about challenges. We're talking your management of your mogul with your young mogul, or you can just simply apply it to yourself. What about stuff? I want to be, in Cheyenne's case, I want to be, I'm making this nail polish, or you could say, I want to be a nail tech, and it's like, oh, but there's nobody to teach me. There's nothing. I don't know. I don't have much money. I don't. We make up the issues before we really try. So right. there are conventions. It's like, where is everybody else that feels the same way I feel? Where's everybody else that has the same passion as my child or as I? Where are they hanging out? Where are they getting trained? And if you're trying to be the best or be seen for something amazing, or if you're trying to really make a business or create legacy out of this talent, this service, this product, whatever it is that you're offering to the world, whatever your gift is, if you're not being trained, if you're not signing yourself up to learn more, you're doing yourself and your community a disservice. That's the bottom line. Like, there's no way that we can continue, that Christian can teach trading and stock options and investments, any of that stuff, if he doesn't know what the hottest thing out there is. You know what I mean? Or if he's not in somebody else's class. So the fact that Tashanta, because Cheyenne couldn't take the class, enrolled and paid to be coached by a professional so they can learn the next craziest, hottest thing happening in LA, that's huge. You know what I mean? So like, that's when we make our kids truly unstoppable, is because we make the investments. We're always looking for the next thing, that they need to be doing, so that they can stay relevant. And that's really what we all want to do. Just like we want to stay relevant. We want to stay consistent. We want to stay in the know. We want to make sure our children are doing the same thing. We can no longer just be like, oh, they're young. Oh, he's only 5. Oh, she's only 13. No, if you don't put her out there, if you're not going to really just go hard and make it happen, don't do it. Just don't do it. Let's see who's joining. Let's see. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm excited. We are Raising a Mogul. We are the Mogul Moms. Before we continue, I want to invite everyone to share this video. I want to ask you to share this video. Please drop in the comments who you are, where you're tuning in from, and also if you have a young mogul, who that young mogul is, post some links. Come on, parents. I know, let's give some shout outs here. I know some of you have some dynamic children. Please share. Don't be selfish. And let us know where you're tuning in from. We would love to shout you out as you share this video. So thank you in advance. Thank you in advance. Tashanta, I see you. Yes, I see you. So Janelle, so let's talk about, we've been working on a lot of stuff behind the scenes because, you know, we have the Raising a Mogul community. And if you guys are not in our free Facebook group, it's called Raising a Mogul Community, where we only rub shoulders with the, you know, the most amazing moms and dads in the business that are the business of managing their young mogul, that is. So Janelle, let's give them a little bit about the kind of stuff that we're working on.
We're currently working on our new academy, and it's going to have so much incredible information. It's going to be value added. When I say value added, that's really an understatement. It's going to have so much incredible information from not just from, you know, just from me, but from all three of us. All three of us have been coached and trained by so many different amazing coaches and trainers. We're bringing all that experience to this academy, all that information to this academy, and we're going to have some amazing, crazy experts in the academy as well to teach you. So you all definitely want to keep track of what we're doing, when the academy is going to launch, what we have going on, what classes, so it can help you scale yourself faster in your young mogul faster. Because what you don't want to do is spend time and money doing things on a low-end budget thinking you can't afford it. You can't afford not to take this class. Because a lot of times you're like, well, I don't have the money. Well, if you spend $20 here, $60 there, another $40 over here, and you waste money and time that you can't get back, you wasted your time and money anyway. So you might as well do it right the first time and get some experts that's been in the game for a long time, coaching other people, and it's going to help you scale up and level up a lot faster and get your son and daughter actually making money. I know a lot of you want your kids to be seen. That's cute. And that's all it is. It's cute. But we are trying to make profit, not just revenue, profit. Revenue's cool, but you need profit. So know the difference, and let's come together as a community and scale up together, and everybody wins. This is not about being selfish, you know, trying to keep opportunities from each other, because you never know who's hot and popping now might not be hot and popping next year. So we all need each other. So let's come together as a community and support each other and lift each other up and take each other to the next level.
Did I tell y'all that Janelle was in the service? I just want to let y'all in on that little secret. So hashtag play no games. Like if you ever get confused and you just need somebody to just tell you what you need to know, ask Janelle. Okay. It's straight up like, so you know, there's three of us, right? So it's like, we're like a three-legged stool. Like Janelle is the leg that's like, okay, what we about to do? Look, because let's get it. Okay. Like she is straight up, keep us in check. So anyways, everything you said, I agree with, and it was awesome. And yes, this thing is going to be off the chain. And it also brings me back to when my young mogul was 9, 10, 11, I have to say, maybe even pushing to 12. I struggled trying to, you know, I always use this word out of desperation, trying to get her to the next level, trying to figure out what was the best thing that she should be enrolled in. What was the best thing that I should be doing? Like, what class should I be taking so I can better support her? The answers were almost like nowhere. You know, I put her in everything I could locally. We maxed out our community with opportunities. Then I started to push out into other places, other opportunities into the state, you know, further into New York State, see what other states were doing, other counties were doing, where the other opportunities were. I just was like, I need to get this girl in front of, connected to people that are doing what she wants to do. But at the time in 2009, 10, and 2011, you know, this whole space was not conducive to a child wanting to run a business seriously. You know what I mean? So when you talk about spending $20 here, $40 there, investing in, you know, just time, all the time stealers, you know, like, oh, we're going to teach you how to do this, or we're going to work with this, you know. Not only did a lot of that stuff not exist for a kid, but I put her in a lot of stuff anyways, you know. So it wasn't until I really got serious, because I already knew she was serious. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and invest. I'm going to invest in the coaching. I invested into a major program for her, you know, flew her across country so that she can do VIP days and sit at a table with other $1 million brands that, you know, we're learning that I'm like, wait, if they're already on the shelves of Target and they're taking this class, we need to be in that class because we need to learn how to get on the shelves of Target. You understand what I mean? So that's how I scaled up. Like, that's where my thought process, it went straight there. Like, okay, I need to be with them. Like, I don't need to be down here, because farmers market is great in the beginning, but what you're thinking beginning and my beginning might be two totally different things. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, we did this for a minute. You keep making $82. That's really great. However, we're not going to college on that. You're not buying a car on that. You're not creating legacy on that. Your grandchildren's grandchildren can't live off that. So it's time to make major moves. You know what I mean? So the investment had to be there. So something like even the Raising a Mogul community, you guys, as it stands right now, is a free Facebook platform where we can just get in there and ask questions and say, hey, has anybody seen this before? Has anybody attended this before? Has anyone done that before? It didn't exist. If it had, I'm telling you, if my daughter was starting a business right now in 2018, y'all be like, Xandra, did y'all see Xandra? Because I'm just now, like, I'm like on my, like, shoot, I'm still on my first win. So this thing is like, I got like 3 or 4 more before I sleep. So this thing is going to be crazy because I know better now. I learned better. I've been trained better. I invested in better. You know what I mean? So that's why this stuff just gets me fired up. I get so excited about it. So I'm going to pause real quick. So Sean says, great words, Janelle. Sakita, hey, lady. She says she loves us.
Hey.
She's tuning in from Hotlanta. And then we have Miss Barbara. She's tuning in from Maryland, and she has an 8-year-old young mogul that she is raising. Sean is also in Hotlanta. Anana, hey lady, she's checking in from New Jersey. So thank you all for joining us. Hey Shannon Thomas, I see you there as well. Thank you all for joining us. We're so excited to have you all here watching us. This is good. This is good stuff. If anybody has any questions, if you have any specific things in regards to the idea of scaling your thought process and your actions up when it comes to your young mogul, drop them in the comments. Let us know. Like, if you're considering something and you're like, oh, should I don't know. It costs $5 more than I was hoping it would. You know, how do I know? The answer is you don't know. That's what it's called, a risk. It's called a risk. It's called taking risk. But we like to take calculated risk. You know what I mean? So there's a formula that goes into it where you kind of like weigh your options, you know, and you need to have a tribe. You need to have a place where you can say, somebody you can say, you know, like, I'm thinking of doing this thing. But it's like, if I do this thing, I can't do that thing. And that thing might be really important. So how much of that thing can I leverage so that this thing, but by the time it comes due, I can ready that ready too.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you need people you can bounce ideas off of and make sure that it's you're making a good investment. And the thing about our Raising a Mogul community that's really cool is many of us have already done much of the things that some of us want to do. So if I want to invest in certain things, I'm going to talk to Janelle. If Xandra decides she wants to add on a nail polish line, I'm not starting from scratch. I'm not going to buy a book. Books are great. But I'm calling Tashanta and Cheyenne. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you have resources. We are each other's resource. So it shouldn't be that hard. So I want the anxiety and the stress and the overwhelm to not be so overwhelming for us, not be so present in a lot of our lives because we have each other. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes we over exaggerate the work, the fear, and all the other stuff. We overthink so much that it keeps us paralyzed. We just don't move. Sakita says, how did you all grow internationally?
Who?
All of us.
Each one of us?
Yes. Janelle, you want to take that?
I created an opportunity for Kristen. There was not I couldn't find any opportunities for him. His first business was speaking. And so most people know him as a speaker. And so I created an opportunity in London. I did not know this lady. She was a speaker. She was also trained by Les Brown. My son was also trained by Les Brown. So I connected with her and we created a speaking opportunity in London. And so actually London was his second international speaking opportunity. His first opportunity was right here in Germany, actually. He spoke at a scholarship banquet for the high school students graduating last year. Then the second opportunity was the one I created in London, just to go global, speak on a global scale. And like I said, sometimes opportunities are not knocking at your door, you got to create them. And you can't be scared to reach out to people and ask questions and find out what's what, because you'll be amazed at how many people are waiting on you to knock on their door and ask them the questions because they were thinking the same thing.
That's important. That is so good. That is so good. I love that she said, I created the opportunity. And it doesn't necessarily have to be on an international or global scale to start with. Even if your child just wants to start, make ice cream. And it's like, we don't know where to begin. We don't have an ice cream maker. We don't even have a freezer. Like, how does this, whatever. Somebody's making ice cream in your community. Reach out to them and say, hey, my child wants to make ice cream. Can he or she hang out with you on this Saturday? Can they intern with you? Will you sit down and have a conversation with them about what the next step would be? Because once you expose your child to that opportunity, they might be like, I don't want to make ice cream. I don't even like ice cream, so like we have to create the opportunities. Or your child wants to make this ice cream and it's like, well, how are we going to get people to know, whatever? We're going to call this My Young Mogul Ice Cream Saturday in the state of Maryland. Who's going to tell you can't? Who's going to tell you you can't? So now your child's responsible for a whole ice cream day in Maryland. Like, we need to just start, just break it and just be like, why can't we do it? When you think of, as soon as your brain is like, oh, it's too, oh, I can't, oh, go and stand in front of the mirror and say, why can't you do it? Why can't I do it? So if things don't come up like it's illegal, like they'll put me in jail, somebody could get hurt. Then if none of those things come up, it can be done, and you can do it. It can be done.
That's how Cheyenne's Polish Party started, just because of that opportunity. Just creating it.
You never know. And for me, Xandra ended up international. It started with speaking. So before her products were anywhere outside of the country, she was. So once again, it was connections. So she was connected to the Indie Business Network as one of the youngest. She might be still one of the youngest makers in the Indie Business Network. So it's a huge network of makers. I kind of alluded to it earlier, where you have brands that are just starting out, like we were in 2013 when she joined, and you also have $1 million brands being represented. Like, this is where these people go to get their insurance. This is where these people go to get their motivation, their inspiration, and their training. So I connected my daughter to that group very early on. Had some challenges, had to overcome some hurdles, some obstacles, but we made it happen. So she got an invitation from that organization to speak in Mexico. And then from there, as soon as it happens, even Janelle's like, he spoke here in Germany. We live here in Germany. He's an international speaker. So as soon as it happened, it's almost like, as soon as you tell the universe, you tell your community, you tell the world, like, my child is capable of this, that's when more opportunities will start to flow your way, because your mindset shifts. So now you can your high beams are on, you're starting to look for, you're more sensitive to other opportunities. So that's where it kicked it off there. Yeah. Her products ended up international because has gotten a lot of press and a lot of exposure internationally as well. So that's the other thing that happened, is like her story started to reach overseas as we started to connect with different groups, different magazines, different platforms. And so then it just kind of trickled and it has blown up from there. It wasn't one thing, it's a lot of things, which is why we always talk about being consistent, showing up great no matter where you are, all the time, even when you're tired, and looking better than you actually are on social media. Right. That's the key. We all talk about social media as the highlights. Well, post all your highlights. You know what I mean? Like, tell the truth. Don't make up anything, but just make sure the world knows how amazing you are and how amazing your child is. And they're watching. Even when you don't think anybody's watching and you want to post something ridiculous, don't do it, because somebody's watching you. And they're making a decision whether or not we're going to pick your kid or that kid. Whether your kid's going to make the top 10 or the top 5 or the top 20 or somebody else's kid. You don't want to make a mistake of letting them control social media this time and something terrible happening, or you don't want to make the mistake of you not showing up on the one day they're making a selection. So you always have to think, like, is today the day that this election could be made, and how are we going to show up? And we want to make sure we show up well, and we're always doing business well. Shannon Thomas has a question. Absolutely. I totally work with young moguls. I would say more as a consultant as opposed to an agent or manager. So I'm more in the consulting range, but Shannon, send me a message and we can absolutely talk about that. The question she had was, do we work with potential young moguls in the capacity of agent or manager? So absolutely, yes. The answer is yes. Are we considering scaling up from making mocktails? Oh, we are considering scaling up from making mocktails to order. That events to bottle, order, or at events to bottling, bottling the mocktails, but the cost to scale up and to level up is huge. They started this business last September. What do you think we should do about it? I'm thinking first of all, don't let the time scare you. It's all about the numbers. If the numbers tell you it's time to scale up and you can afford to scale up without busting up the business and failing, and just everything folding, then you scale up slowly. So I get it. If the market is ready for bottling, then I would do some more research and see if you can get that done on a larger scale, and keep costs down. But my thing is, the way I make decisions like that when it comes to scaling up, because my daughter has a product line, it all comes down to the numbers. If the numbers don't make sense, it don't make sense. And that's the bottom line. There's some risk we take, yes, but we still have to make sure we're not going to risk every single thing. So here we are, 8 years has gone down the drain because we decided we want to try one thing, So I would really need to know a little bit more about your numbers, your cost of goods, and all that kind of stuff to give you some real solid advice on what you're doing. But I would say if you're making the mocktails to order, and I don't know if the mocktails, I'm thinking this is a drink, right? So does it have to be to order? Can you just take the top 5 that people are ordering the most and have those ready? You know what I mean? I don't know if you're making them at events, but I definitely think maybe you should create some more opportunities to sell them at events. You can make more money, and then you can do the bottling probably on a smaller scale and just see it just as a test run to see how that, how your market responds to it and what you can charge for it. Tashanta, Janelle, you have anything to say?
Also, they have packaging trade shows as well. So there's trade shows for everything, for every industry that you can imagine. So there's a packing show out here in Los Angeles, California, and Anaheim that I like to go to all the time. And then basically you can, like she stated, your cost, you can find out what cost would be beneficial for you based on what you're selling. And just check out these different trade shows, Packaging Expo. They have bottles and so forth. They even have the machines on how you can, make that happen. So look at all of that. They have trade shows for everything. I'm a firm believer of trade shows and industry leaders, and I like to go and see what's in the know.
Awesome. That's a great point. The
other thing about the trade shows is not just the information, is the networking and the connections. That's more important than anything you do at any event you go to, is connections, because somebody else is buying the same bottles that you need, and guess what, your order that you put with theirs might get a 20% discount. Now y'all can go in together and get the same bottles for a little less money, and both of y'all win. So go out there and make your connections, network with people, and see how you all can benefit from each other and add value to each other.
I totally agree with that. Adding value. That's huge. Adding value. That's huge. Hey, Shiva, thanks for joining. So Sean said that they just recently filed for their trademark yesterday. Congratulations.
Yay.
Big deal. I would have to say, so his question is, in our experience, how long will it take to be approved? I've seen trademarks get approved in 90 days. I've seen some go 6 months. I've seen some take years. So it really depends on if there's going to be any objections, any blocks, how unique it is. For our personal experience, it took us about 2 years to get Xandra's, even though her name is Xandra. It's like not that common of a name. Her brand is Xandra. Her name is Xandra. So it's like, it was tough. It was a tough road because she was really upset. She's like, what do you mean I can't own my name? That just sounds weird. Someone said you can't own your name, But yeah, we had another company overseas actually challenging us There's a company called Sandra Beauty, it's an S. So they challenged us. So we had to go back several times with, you know, and just fight it. So my experience is not going to be everybody's experience, because not everybody has a fight, you know, unless you're purposely or unaware that just do it is taken. You know what I mean? Like, you should be okay. But it's also, you know, it's not just the word, it's the print, it's the, you know, the whatever. And Xandra's logo is actually her signature. So that was completely unique. So that helped us. So that's what my experience was like, you know. Let's see. So Barbara says, so she talks about her child, her daughter making she started out painting glass rocks. She was like, it'd be cool. They scaled up to her saying she'd like to sell them, and now she's making necklaces and rings, which is really cool. Her question is, how do you balance the parental excitement and seeing the different opportunities without taking over the business or creativity? Now that's a good one. Tashanta.
Just this past last week, Cheyenne was on spring break. So basically what she was doing was making her polishes, and she would package up her order, but keep the orders open, and then I would do the rest, like to ship it for her. But this past week when she was out on spring break, because what we decided to do is give her her cell phone Fridays through Monday morning now. And she's fine with it. So she gets her cell phone Friday after school, and she turns it back to me on Monday morning before she goes to school. So that allows her to be able to take care of her business, like her homework and her business. So now I was able to teach her how to ship from A to Z without me. All mommy is doing is going to deliver to the post office. So she knows how to do it. So she's been doing it all this week, no problem. She knows how to scale it and so forth. But before, I was excited as well. Oh my God, okay, I could do this and I could do that. No, this is her business. I had to really step away, allow her to grow into her own business. And it's so funny, the other day she was like, Mom, I have this. I got this. Like, you still treating me like a little baby. I'm not a little baby anymore. Okay. So hands off, you know, it's hands off. I just look at her from afar, whatever issues she may have, probably with a customer. You know, she hasn't had an issue yet, but if she did, I'm sure she would come to me and say, hey, Mom, I got this email. And so she checks her emails, the whole nine. So from A to Z, allow your child to grow. And I learned this from Janelle. Allow your child to grow, step back, hands off, and let them do what they do. You'll be surprised of how much they know and how much they can do. Yes, be excited. And while you're being excited, just be a cheerleader for it. Get your pom-poms on the side and just, you know, hey, you know, just be excited for them. But let them do what they do. Let them grow, because we are excited as parents, because we're like, oh my God, this looks so fun, and you can do this, you can do that. But let them find their way and let them maneuver and make their own path as well.
That's good. That's good. Another thing I would suggest is implementing, first of all, recognizing we all need to understand that this is a business. So if you guys are not like we're running a family business, then you need to recalibrate. You know what I mean? So unless you're in it just so your child can be seen and you can go and show up at family events and say, oh, she makes jewelry or she's making cupcakes, you know. But if you're in this for the long haul and you really want your child to be recognized and respected for their gifts, their talents, their products, and their services, you should be running a business. So all the way around, it should be a good business being run well by your unit, your team. And you have a team, even if it's just you and your child, you guys are the team. Everybody has roles. So right from the beginning, once Xandra graduated from the University of Buffalo's entrepreneurial program, we sat down. Part of her year-long task when she was in that program, the only kid in this adult program, was for us to establish organizational structure. You know, so through that organizational structure, it was only 3 of us. We all had like 4 jobs, you know what I mean? But it was fine. You know, it was fine because, you know, here we are 4 years later and we all only have 1 because we've been able to hire other people to do the other thing, right. You know, so we can work in the space that we're most gifted in, which is a blessing. And when it comes to doing business well, you have to have meetings. So my suggestion is have a meeting, have a notebook or a board somewhere where when the excitement kicks in, you can write it down. You know what I mean? So that way you don't feel like, because I feel like as parents, it's like, oh no, you need to make blue ones too. Because someone said blue ones are hot. You know what I mean? Or like you're looking through a magazine or you see a commercial. Inspiration comes from all kinds of everywhere, you know. But we want to make sure that, so there's nothing wrong with us having like a mommy side or a daddy side or just a suggestion box kind of side where we can make suggestions and put down things that we think are great. And then during the meeting, when it's time, we can say, well, what do you think? Should we make orange ones, or should we just stick to keep making the blue ones? It's an honest conversation, and don't be upset if your child's like, no, I don't want to make blue or orange. I always wanted to only make red.
Right.
You have to listen. Right. You have to respect their position, because if you don't do it now, it's going to be mayhem going forward. Like if they want red and you push blue anyways, I'm telling you, they're going to be standing at their table with a sad face, looking like you beat them all the way there because you're making them sell orange and blue something and they wanted red. You cannot win. You will not win. I'm telling you. You think you won because sometimes we parent with ego, so we think we won. It's like, yeah, we got the blue and the red. I got everything, or the blue and the yellow, orange, whatever the color I said. I got what I wanted. But when it's time for your child to show up, sell, be amazing, and do what they're supposed to do, or what you think they're supposed to do, they're going to flatline, and you're going to be completely embarrassed and freaked out because it's not their idea. They cannot sell what they don't believe in. They cannot sell what they don't know, and they cannot stand in front of what's not authentically theirs. So that's a lesson that we all need to learn. You know, that's a lesson that we all need to learn. Yeah.
Yeah, it was real good. They can't sell what they don't believe in. That's like any of us. It's hard to sell things that you don't believe in. So that's real good. I like that.
Yeah.
And the other thing is you're killing their creativity and their spirit and their purpose, because you're telling them they don't know what they're doing. They're not good enough. And you're taking over their business. And so you're making them lose their passion, because now it's more yours than theirs. So if you truly want it to be theirs and you want them to truly walk in this gift and be able to spread their wings, the fastest way to success is to fail. Let them fail. Let them mess up. You told them blue, or you suggested blue and they said red, then you get there and everybody wants blue. I guess they go back and make blue, and next time they'll take your suggestion and listen to you a little bit more and understand the why behind why you suggested that. Because you knew blue was a popular color this year because it was in all the magazines and it was in all the stores. So you're making them grow and you're making them stretch far beyond what they're capable of doing now. And if you do it for them now because you're excited, like you said, later on they're going to show up and they're going to embarrass you and themselves when they have to pitch it, or they're trying to sell somebody on something and they don't know all the ins and outs of their business, because it's not really their business, it's your business, but they're the face and the name on the brand, but you're doing all the work and you're not allowing them to grow. And one day mommy's not going to be there to help them, and you're only hindering them. And that could have been the one sale that could have closed out multiple sales and got a wholesale sale from this customer, and they could not close the sale or the deal because mommy's not there to hold their hand and help them.
Right.
That's good. That's important. It's very important. So we have some feedback from our participants. So Shiva says she has green sugar in her kitchen right now because the kids are experimenting. Your kids are always experimenting. I love that. So she said she had to take a step back, and she's in another room while they're experimenting. I love that. That's important. Also, Shiva says that Sunday is their business meeting day, and that's exactly our day is Sunday as well. We don't go into the office on Sundays, but Sunday is usually our regroup day. We're actually considering pushing that to Monday. So Sunday could be our nothing day. And we're considering doing that. But we meet every single week. We meet every week. We have a running list. We have tasks. We have a project management software that we use between all our key players in our company, so that everyone knows what they're supposed to be doing, and they can check in and say whether or not it was done or was not done, and where they are in regards to progress. Barbara says, thank you. This was great wisdom. ER says, golden nugget. Our children will not sell what they don't believe in. It's true. It's true. Thank you for joining, Natasha. Hello, Sherry. Thanks for joining. So yeah, this is good stuff, you guys. I'm sick. You guys see what happened? Yeah, we've been saving this for like 2 weeks. We haven't been live. This is good stuff. So I'm excited for the opportunity to be with my partners, first of all, and also to hang out with you all in our community and kind of just share a little bit. You know, sometimes it's like we don't really need, we don't need all that. We're just talking really about all the things that we've been doing, and you know, the revelations and the lessons come consistently all the time. And with my lessons, I really want to, I love making a point of sharing them, because if I'm dealing with this, if I'm concerned about this, if I'm wondering this, there has to be other parents, other, you know, young mogul managers out there that are also having the same challenges, even just in parenting in general. You know, like this thing is hard. This thing is hard. Like there was no manual. I didn't get the manual. I left the hospital with no manual, y'all. You know, like then you have this child, this little thing coming talking about, I want to write a book. I want to be a speaker. I want to do this. And you're like, let me think of all the 100 million ways why this can't happen. But it's our job as their manager, as their support system, as their first teacher to make it happen, to figure it out, you know, to figure it out. So that's why, once again, I'm glad that we have this amazing community and that we're all connected, because we don't have to do it alone. We don't have to do it alone. You know, so if you are not a part of the Raising a Mogul community, why not? Please join us. You're already on Facebook. Just go to Raising a Mogul Community and hit the join button. We will welcome you and do a song and dance when you join, because we're so excited to watch our community grow. We're even more excited to support parents that are supporting their young moguls, because clearly, absolutely, our children are the wave of the future, and we're raising change makers. We're raising movers and shakers. We're raising children that will know how to do business well, how to create opportunities for others, serve their community, and create legacy and wealth for their families. And that's what it's all about, right?
I need to go pick up my boss.
All right.
She starts calling.
So, Tashonda, you want to take us out, Tashonda?
I'm Tashonda Hogan, proud parent of Cheyenne Hogan. I'm on my way to go pick her up because she's waiting for me at school. She got out like 30 minutes ago.
You're fired.
This is some good stuff. So I could not leave without being here to share and be excited and so forth, because business is everything. It's everything for me. It's everything for my kid as well. But I'm Tashonda Hogan, proud mommy of Cheyenne Hogan. Shy's World is a 5-free indie nail polish brand, free from 5 harmful chemicals to include formaldehyde without sacrificing quality or profession. So you can check her out at Shy's World at any time on all of her social medias, and that's about it.
Okay, and I'm Janelle Jones. I am the proud mother of Kristen James Jones and Bailey Love Jones, and they are both speakers and best-selling authors. And Kristen is also a stock investor, where he teaches you how to maximize your profit after you make it from your business and trade successfully in the stock market without making a whole bunch of rookie mistakes.
Ooh, rookie mistakes. All right, y'all. And my name is Tamara Zantel, and we are Raising a Mogul. I am the amazingly proud mommy manager, COO of the brand called Xandra. My daughter started when she was 9 years old. She's 17 now. And guess what, y'all? I work for Xandra. I went from corporate, I'm a corporate dropout, and now I work for Xandra. It is official. So we are so excited and so grateful that you spent your time with us this evening, afternoon, or morning, depending on where you're tuning in from. We are Raising a Mogul. Don't forget to follow us at all things #Raising a Mogul and #Black CEO Junior. If you're not there or the other place, you need to be. So thank you all for sharing. Thank you for tuning in. And we are so excited once again. And we'll talk to you all soon. Until next time. Bye-bye. Done.
Okay. I think that was one of our better lives.
It was. That's why I felt I didn't want to be like,